Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my top beauty products of 2021. I was going to say my top 21 beauty products, but I'm actually not sure how many beauty products I have here, but I have a bunch from every category: eyes, face, brows, everything. So I'm going to start off with some foundations. I have a few, some I've mentioned quite a lot, and one is actually a bit newer. So I'm going to start off with the one you've seen me mention all year round, and this is the Urban Decay Hydromaniac Foundation. I believe this is my third bottle of this foundation. My all-time favorite foundations are ones that just smooth over your pores, texture. I like to keep things really simple with my primers, which is why I'm not even mentioning a primer, because I just used a moisturizer as a primer all year round, and I prefer to find foundations that actually blur texture instead of primers. I don't know why. Maybe that will change in 2022, but that's just how I've been for the last couple years. I definitely like foundations that are very smoothing, and that's why I love this one. It's really great coverage. It's more of a full coverage, and then it's more of like a demi matte finish. I like it year round, especially in the winter now. It's really nice because it's not drying at all, but in the summertime it's not too dewy either. So really like this one. The other one, if I'm not wearing that one, the one that I've also worn the most this year is the Lawless Conceal the Deal Foundation, and this is marketed to be like a buildable full coverage. I find this to be very light to medium coverage, and that's totally fine with me. The thing that I love about this foundation is that it's like a serum formula. It's super lightweight, so when I swatch it, you'll see it's just like a drop of water. That's how lightweight it is, so you can build it up and it's never gonna feel cakey, and then you don't need to set it with powder. That's the best part about this foundation, because this is a foundation that I use when I have less than 10 minutes to do a full face of makeup, because I apply this with a foundation brush. I don't need to set it. I apply it under my eyes. I actually apply it all over my eyes. So I use it as concealer as well. So I don't use concealer when I apply this. I'll just do my whole face, and then I can go straight into bronzer right on top of that, and blush and highlighter, mascara, brow, and a lip, and I'm done in under 10 minutes. And it's much more coverage than if I were to use like a tinted moisturizer or something that is marketed a little bit more lightweight. I like to use that with a full face of makeup, but my skin still feels very breathable. So that's one of my favorite products. And then this is a new discovery that I got during the VIB sale a month ago. This is from Tower 28. This is the Sunny Days Tinted Sunscreen. It says it's a tinted sunscreen, but honestly, this is like a light foundation. It's definitely like a tinted moisturizer finish. So when I swatch this, you'll see it has a lot of pigmentation to it, so you are going to get some coverage. I don't use this as my daily moisturizer or my daily sunscreen. I use the Supergoop Glow Screen as my daily sunscreen. I'll apply my moisturizer, that, and then my makeup. But if I'm going to be wearing this, I'll do my moisturizer. I guess I use this as my daily sunscreen. I'll use this as my sunscreen and kind of foundation for the day in one when I'm doing a light to no makeup day. So I have been loving this on days where I just do this, brows, mascara, and like a tinted lip balm, and that's my like 2 to 5 minute makeup look for the day, which goes a long way because otherwise I would wear no makeup whatsoever on those days. Basically, if you only have 1 minute and you want to transform your face, this is the product, because it really helps even out my skin tone, and then it also has SPF 30 in it. It is a tinted sunscreen, so it's going to be sun protection, a moisturizer, and then lastly like a makeup product. So I really like that for a no makeup look. Moving into concealer, this is the only concealer I wore for 6 months until recently. I'm now starting to try out the Kosas concealer. I really like that. That one is more like dewy, lightweight, but I've honestly only tried it like 4 times compared to this one I've tried like 100 times. This is the One Size Concealer. It's called the Turn Up the Base Concealer. I wear the shade Medium N1. I love this concealer because it's full coverage. It's really creamy. It doesn't dry as soon as you swatch it, so you have a little bit of time to blend out your makeup. So that is just one swatch with the concealer. You can see it has really nice coverage, and you can take your time with it. It's not gonna dry down instantly. All right, so next up, I don't have any new powders to share from this year. I've honestly just been using my Too Faced Born This Way powder and my Laura Mercier Glow Powder, Translucent Glow Powder, non-stop for about 3 years now. Let me know if you guys have any other recommendations because I always keep going back to those. But I did switch up my contour routine completely. I was basically only using powder contours for many years until this year. I basically just use cream contour, and I have one powder bronzer, but I have not used a powder contour all year long. So I have a few cream products. So first off, we have the Persona Cosmetics contour sticks. I use both of them every single day. I think they came out like 8 or 9 months ago, and they've lasted this whole time because I wear them every day. I love these so much. These are the creamiest contour sticks ever. They are so easy to blend. I use a lighter shade on my forehead and then underneath my jawline, and then I use the deeper shade for my nose and for my cheekbone. But these are really easy to blend. They blend out so quickly. They're also pretty forgiving as well because the formula is so creamy. I've tried a lot of cream contour products that have a very dry formula, so when you go to blend, it just basically removes all the makeup off of your face. But these are just really creamy and easy to blend. They're basically like a cream foundation formula. So I love these the most out of all of the cream contour products that I've tried, but I do have a few others that I really like as well. If I want like a different makeup look for that day, I really like the one from Makeup by Mario. This one I have in the shade Medium. With this one, the formula is just a little bit more pigmented, so I get a bit more of a dramatic contour look, but I really love that there is a brush on the other end, and the brush has a bit of like little bristles here, so it makes it a bit easier to blend out than just like a flat brush. So I really like this one as well, especially if I'm doing more of like a glam makeup look. I'll go for this one, but for every day, I've been reaching for the Persona ones since the springtime. One that I really loved during the summer was the Tower 28 Bronzino Bronzer. I love this because it has a shimmer to it. I love a shimmery bronzer. I feel like it just adds so much more life to my face. I hate matte bronzers. So the fact that this is a cream bronzer that has shimmer, that is basically my ideal product, and I really liked this one. I was going through my makeup and just thinking of the makeup I wore the most throughout the year, and I put this one away for the last couple months because my routine's a little bit different during the fall and winter, and I'm like, let me start using this again because I really loved it in the spring and summertime. This is an awesome product. All right, so moving into blushes, I do want to mention a blush that is a bit older. It didn't come out this year, but I rediscovered it this year. I actually tried it out a couple years ago. I hated it, and now it's one of my favorite beauty products in my collection. It is the Peachgasm blush from Charlotte Tilbury. When I first tried this in like 2018, I just was not a fan of liquid blushes, highlighters, bronzers at all. Now that's basically all I wear because I like to just apply all those products, blend it out with my beauty blender, and then set my face and move on with my day. I use very few makeup brushes on my face at this point. I love this shade so much. I know a lot of people like the pink one. I think that one's a bit more popular, but I love the Peachgasm one. Like, I think this shade is gorgeous. It's not too peachy. It's like a little bit more neutral. It's really warm. It has that golden hint to it to make it a little bit more natural. You can see it has that like reflect to it as well. I wear it all year round. I started re-wearing this around February. Then I ran out of it. I purchased a new one in the fall and I've been wearing it since. So a lot of times I'll wear this on its own, but now in the winter, I'll apply this and then also use a powder blush that's a little bit deeper for the winter time. And then the other blush that I've been wearing a lot lately is the cream blush from ABH. I have it in the shade Peach, and this is more of like a neutral peachy blush. I love that it has a brush on the other side, just like the ones from Makeup by Mario, but this is also really, really creamy formula. I can apply this on top of powder as well, which is great. I can apply it before powder or after powder, depending on how I do my makeup. I basically don't need to adjust my makeup to this product, which is great. So it's a really creamy formula. And then it also has like a little bit of a satin finish to it. You blend it out with the brush. Super, super easy to use. So this is one of my go-to blushes as well. And I just realized I forgot to mention the powder bronzer that I've been wearing. The only powder bronzer I've been wearing this year at all is the Benefit Hoola Glow Bronzer. This came out at the beginning of the year. This is how much I've used of this bronzer. It's basically the exact same formula as the original Hoola bronzer, but it has a little bit of a shimmer to it. It's so subtle. And I honestly use this as like a bronzer setting powder. So I will still like fully cream contour my face, and then wherever I put the cream contour, I'll just dust this lightly on top because it has that little bit of a sheen to it where it gives you a bit more of a reflective finish, a bit more of a glowy look, and I feel like that just looks really dewy and natural. So I love that bronzer. It's been my favorite this year. And then for highlighter, I've been rotating between a powder and liquid highlighter. I'm going to start off with the powder highlighter, and this is the one from Makeup by Mario, specifically in the shade Golden. I also have the one in Honey, but this is the one that I've basically used up this year. The shade Golden is actually a bit more neutral than the shade Honey. This one's a little bit more of like a champagne gold. I wear this every day. Like, this is such a stunning highlight. It's so pigmented, very creamy. It's not powdery at all. It goes with every makeup look on my complexion because it is a little bit more neutral on me. So I could wear it with like silver tone eyeshadows, with what I'm wearing today, super warm makeup too. So this has been my absolute favorite. And also a lot of times when I'm traveling, I won't even bring an eyeshadow palette. I'll just use this in my crease and then this as my lid color for my eyeshadow. I've been doing that a ton, and I think that's why I also hit pan on it, because I wear this as eyeshadow all the time too. And then the liquid highlighter is from Refi. This is a new brand to me. I don't know if it's a brand new brand, but this is the first time I'm trying a product from them, and I've been wearing this one every day for a few months. I believe this is the only highlighter that they have, at least the only shade that they have. This is like a dewy liquid highlighter. So a lot of times liquid highlighters, they have more of a dry formula, but this is like a gel-like formula. It's so pretty. It is like a deeper bronzy gold. So you can see it has that gel-like consistency to it. So it just looks like a bit more dramatic. It just looks a bit more 3D on your face. That's the best way I can describe it. It doesn't like sit flat on your face like some other highlighters. I think just because it has that dewy finish to it. So it's also very hydrating. It doesn't settle into texture. I obviously put way too much on, but there you can see the two highlighters that I've been wearing non-stop for several months now. Love them both, especially this is just such a cool product because it's more of a gel-like highlighter, because a lot of liquid highlighters just look kind of heavy on my skin. So I really like that one. Check it out if you are looking for like a new kind of highlighter formula. Then for brows, we're gonna go with the Anastasia Brow Freeze. I'm gonna show you one that is brand new that I'm gonna be using next, because it looks so much better than the one that I currently put on my brows today. I'll show you a comparison. This is the one downside with the product, that with time you can see like just from opening it and using it, it does start to dry out with time. This one is almost done compared to the brand new one. So sometimes I'll just run my brush underwater before I dip into it just to kind of reactivate the product. But this is what I've been using on my brows. This will be my third tube this year, and I think I started using it around April. I'm wearing it in my brows today, and it just gives you a little bit of like that laminated texture. You can go really heavy with it too, but I spend so much less time on my brows because of this product. This just fills in my brow with my natural hairs by just like fluffing them out. So I love this product. It saves me so much time, and I love the look of my brows with this product because I don't want a perfect brow. And this gives me that in the best way, like a naturally more full looking brow, and it stays in place all day long. So for lips, I honestly have not tried out too many new products this year since we're still wearing masks all the time. I'm not really trying out a lot of lip products, not really checking out too many new things. But one thing that I love is that Summer Fridays repackaged their lip butters. I love this product so much. This is the tinted one in Vanilla Beige. There's a few tinted shades. This one is the one that's a little bit lighter. I also have the nude one. I love that one as well. There's one that's a little bit deeper than this, but this is like their nude shade, just like an everyday tinted balm. Okay, let's compare it to the old packaging because I just went in my bathroom and I grabbed one that I just finished with the old packaging, and it is such an upgrade. Like, this is the old packaging, and I really squeezed out the last little bit of this packaging, and it just had like a little cap. It was, and you can see the product just falls out. I'm complaining about a formula that no longer exists, but the product would just fall out of this and I would end up wasting product. Like, I would always in my bathroom drawer would have like an overspill of the lip balm because the packaging, it always pushed the product out. So this one with the new packaging where it's just a regular lip applicator is so much better, and I'm very excited for that because I've gone through so many of these, and now I have this one and the original nude color in this new formula too, or new packaging too, and it's so much easier to use compared to this one. So this is my favorite product upgrade of 2021 because this came out a couple years ago, but the upgrade was much needed and I'm very happy about that. So I almost forgot to share my favorite eyeshadow palettes for the year. I'm just going to share two that I've been rotating between for the last couple months. The first one I mention all the time, the Patrick Ta eyeshadow palette. This is the Major Dimensions eyeshadow palette. This is such a cool palette. I love that it has these cream shadows. A lot of times I'll wear this just on its own. Like, I'll do a transition shade and then just wear one of these cream shadows, usually the lighter one, just on my lid as a matte eyeshadow look with just some mascara, or I'll use the cream as a base for one of these shimmer shadows. I have a whole review on this palette. I'll link it below. It's such a good palette. It is more expensive. It's like $65, but to me these are all of my favorite shades and it's my favorite brand, and I love the formula. I think it's a really cool palette, definitely worth it to me. And then the Anastasia Primrose palette, I've had this for a month and I've been wearing it every single day since then, other than today because I filmed a makeup look that I'll upload on my Instagram this week with the lip color, everything. It's kind of like a holiday look. But other than today, I've been wearing this palette every single day for the last month. And I also love that this one has blushes. So I mentioned earlier that I like to apply this sometimes and then top it off with more of like a wintry blush. I'll usually add this blush on top, and I think that's a really pretty look. And then I've been loving these eyeshadows so much. I love the Anastasia formula, and this has been a really fun palette to play with throughout the fall, and I'm definitely going to be doing more looks with it very soon. I love the shimmers in here. I love this formula a lot. So two neutral palettes, very similar but very pigmented and very well loved in my collection. I clearly have a style when it comes to eyeshadow palettes. Like the packaging, the actual shades, the transition shades, everything is very similar. I do love neutral palettes, but I don't like boring palettes. And these are exciting neutral palettes because the shimmers pop so nicely. The transition shades blend beautifully, and you can get a lot of different looks with both of these palettes. So highly recommend those as well. But that's gonna be everything for my top beauty favorites of 2021. I'm gonna have all the products that I mentioned today linked in my description box. If I've done review videos on those certain products, some I uploaded as shorts where I did some demos and a voiceover of the different products. I'll link those below as well so you can get a little bit more detail on each of the products. Also, let me know your favorites from this year in the comments as well. And if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.